The more you learn, the more you earn. A famous quote from our favorite financial grandpa, Warren Buffett. And although I agree with this, sometimes it's not always the case. It's not always about reading the most books, but about reading the right books. So today I've gathered my top 5 favorite audiobooks that I believe you need to read in 2023 in order to become successful. Starting with number 1, we have Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, which is a classic amongst all real estate investors and even those who want financial independence. Now this book does a really great job of blowing apart the idea of you need to get good grades, get a good job, work hard, get a good pension, and maybe you'll have a great life. So to sum up this book real quick and not give too much away, the premise is this kid grows up with 2 dads. He has his real dad, and then he has his friend who his dad is an entrepreneur. So his dad is a school teacher who is all about, working hard, get good grades, become a teacher, a doctor, a dentist, work hard, and maybe you'll be successful. And he has this friend who his dad is an entrepreneur doing all these fun things, has all this money, makes way more money than his dad, but seems to work a lot less. So he's kind of going between the two advices between the whole book. His dad's giving him, the good old adage advice, and his friend's dad is saying, no, you gotta do this, trust me, this is how you become successful. So it's a cool book, has a cool storyline of this kid growing up in Hawaii and having these 2 dads and getting all this different advice on how to become successful. Now the second book is Real Estate Investing in Canada 2.0 by Don Campbell. Now I know it says Canada, but it's not specifically about Canada. Anybody investing in North America or pretty much anywhere in the world, this book will give you a ton of advice. Now this is the Holy Bible for me. This is my mentor. The first books I got were all by Don Campbell, and the biggest thing is it's all about specializing, choosing one area and becoming an expert. Everything I talk about is basically all of Don Campbell's teachings. All these books and all of his teachings have made me a multi-millionaire before the age of 30. So I highly recommend it because it gets deep in the nuts and bolts rather than just an overview, which is a lot of books do about real estate investing. This gives you sound step-by-step advice on how to invest. First, do this. First, go to this area. First, figure out what the comps are selling for, figure out what to specialize in, figure out your ideal tenant, how to market to them. It's very, very in-depth, so I highly recommend this book. The third book is the Millionaire Booklet by Grant Cardone, good old Uncle G. This is a quick 45-minute audiobook if you listen to it on the audio version. Super awesome. Grant Cardone, all about getting you motivated, getting you pumped up. And this book I thought was amazing. It totally blew me away actually. I bought this book, I don't know, it was like $3 or something. I thought whatever, it's a 45-minute book, it's probably gonna be lame. This is probably one of my favorite real estate investing books. It just gets right to the crap, talks all about the benefits of real estate investing, why you need to invest in real estate, what are the benefits of leveraging, how to scale. Surprisingly, all this amazing advice and all this motivating advice in a 45-minute book. It's one of my go-to books that I listen to while I'm working out, while I'm on a walk. It just gets me motivated and pumped up. I highly recommend this book as well. The next book is Surrounded by Idiots by Thomas Erikson. Getting away from the real estate train, now we're just talking about general social advice or general psychology, how to do well in business and in the real world. This book is really, really good. It really helps you understand how other people are thinking, how you think, how you should interact with different types of people. For example, if you yourself are super extroverted and you're talking to someone who's super introverted, it can often seem awkward. A lot of times the extrovert will think the introvert's probably weird, got a couple screws loose in their head, and that might not be true. It just might be the way they think, the way they gather information. They might talk a little slower, they might pause a lot more because they're thinking of what to say next. So it really teaches you how people think, and the way they do that is by setting 4 colors for people. You have blue, yellow, green, and red. So if you're a yellow person, you're generally more bubbly. So we know a lot of these people, I think they say 30% of the population is a yellow. We have the reds, which, not surprising, are people who lose their temper very quick. They're also people who are usually in high dominant scenario, so bosses, but usually bad bosses, people who freak out too much. So it teaches you how to interact with reds, and if you're a red yourself, for example, it teaches you how to tone down, how not to flip out so much as quick. Blue people are more analytical, so your engineers, people who do a lot of work with computers, they tend to be more blues. And we have the greens, who are the majority of the population actually. I think they said something crazy, 60 or 70% are greens, and those are people who just go along with anything. They kind of meld or mend between all the colors. They're just your typical worker bee, not to sound too rude, but they just kind of go along with everything. Yes, yes, yes. They just kind of do all the motion. So the majority of people are those. So to wrap it all up, it just really teaches you when you're talking to somebody, so especially if you're in negotiations or doing business with people, it's really helpful to identify, oh, they're a blue, so I need to talk more about data, more about numbers. Oh, this person's a green, I need to talk more middle ground, not too much data, not too much this, just more middle of the road. So it's really, really good for business people. In the last book, we have Sell or Be Sold, again, by Grant Cardone. Super, super important for any business person, especially real estate. This book is all about negotiating, how to say this, how to say that at this specific time. Really, really great for that. But the key underlying theme of the book is if you don't realize that you're being sold to, you are being sold to. So if you're in a room and you're kind of not sure what's going on, you're being sold at all times of the day. It's not just in a business interaction, you're being sold all the time, whether you realize it or not. So the theme of the book really teaches you that you need to be the one selling. You need to be the one controlling the conversation, controlling the room, whatever room you're in, whether you're at the mall, whether you're actually in a business negotiation, you're always being sold to. So don't be a sucker. You need to be the one doing the selling. So very, very important for real estate investors to read this book, or any person in business. So comment down below which book you want to read before the end of the year. I want to know. If you're interested in hearing my 2021 audiobook choices, click the video right here or in the description. See you in the next video.